Hey everyone. Let me just start off this video by saying I have figured out what the problem is with the day-by-day stuff. Turns out before on Power Director, it was saving it in like a text file, if that makes any sense, in MP4 format when I would save it. Now it's not saving it in MP4, so I got to do that manually. Pain in the neck, but at least I know it's wrong. This video, it's kind of a hard one for me, but I know I'm not the only one who must feel this way during the holidays. So just thought maybe we could, I don't know, work through something together. I don't even know. I know food can be hard for anybody this time of year. I mean, basically, you got, the candy with Halloween, then you have the big meal at Thanksgiving, and then you have the candy and baked food at Christmas, and then you might have your New Year's party, and then you have the chocolate at Valentine's Day, and you have Easter. It's a whole thing, and that sort of thing can trip us up. The other thing that can kind of get us down, though, is getting to December and missing everybody we don't have anymore. And some passings affect you more than others. For example, like last grandfather passed away probably a month or two before COVID. And he was in his 90s. So it wasn't as hard to see him go. Just like when my grandma had passed 15 years prior to that, she was kind of in end stages at that point of her struggles. So I kind of braced myself there, even at that young age. And there's someone on my dad's side of the family, an older gentleman. Well, I shouldn't say older gentleman, it's my great uncle, who passed away a few years before my grandfather did. These were all in December. The one that affects me the most was my best friend. Next year, it'll be 20 years since she died. I don't want to say passed away, because passed away, I feel like, makes it sound like it's an illness. For her, it was a car accident. Just bad weather. That's really what it was. And I miss her. I have hit and miss on the year. Like, gosh, was it 10 years ago? No, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I was in a play, and my dad had picked me up to go spend the weekend at his place. We're having photo call, and of course, photo call ran late. And for one, it was the anniversary of her passing. 2, it landed on the same day of the week that it landed. 3, I was with my dad, which is who I was with when I found out. And 4, the weather was bad. And 5, if we didn't time this thing just right, we were going to be on the road at the same time that the accident happened. So everything was falling into place to just be a bad night. Obviously, we got through it, but like that year in particular was really, really bad. This year didn't land on that day of the week. Weather wasn't bad. Weather's actually been really mild this year. So in that sense, didn't have that problem. But the other thing I've run into, and I don't think it has to do with any of these passings, because this kind of just seemed to have cropped up maybe the year before I moved into my own apartment. So keep in mind, all through college, and then I ended up having to drop out of college. So the 3 years I went to college, and then I would say the 4 or 5 years after that, I was fine. I did my knitting, I watched my Christmas movies, I got my Christmas cards out. No problem. Ever since probably the year before I moved, I've had issues. And I can't put my finger on what the issue is. Don't get me wrong, I'm still putting up my Christmas stuff. I've had my tree up for over a month. It's one of those things that I had read somewhere, the earlier you put your tree up, the more happiness you can have. So I've been trying to gun for that. So yeah, I have my lights going right now. So if you see me looking off to the side, it's because I'm looking at my tree. I don't know if you can see the lights going off by my face or not. But like I used to, watch a bunch of Christmas specials every year, and I would read every year, and probably for the last 8 years that just hasn't been the case. Not that I haven't gotten any Christmas special watching, and don't get me wrong. I have gotten some in, but not to the extent that I used to. The only two things I can pick up that are different, because I'm not going to put Alani in on this, because this was happening before she showed up, is that I wasn't working at the time. Well, I guess a couple years there I was working. It's a long story with my health stuff. But I wasn't working, so I had more time to just do stuff. So I didn't have like the pressures. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Where it's, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say it feels like an obligation, but it feels like an obligation. I don't know. Maybe if people can write in the comments and give me ideas. That's probably going to be something I talk with my therapist about next week. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get some stuff done. I did actually manage to make some Christmas cookies, and they're not for me. There's this couple from church who helps me out, and I thought I would make them some Christmas cookies. So, thought I'd get those made tonight and then get them frosted tomorrow. So, yeah. So any ideas on how to push through, or even just commiserating and, acknowledging each other having to push through things? I don't even know what I'm saying, but use the comments as you will below.